Hi, Larry Whittington here with Alpha 101 Survival. Today I would like to talk about building fires and different techniques to get them started. Alright, right now is what I'm doing is I'm trying to find tinder. Dry, really dry, brittle stuff that will take right off. It's a great fuel source. So that's really the first thing you want to do is find a good means of starting the fire with some sort of accessible fuel. Right? Don't make it too complicated. You don't want to go digging for coal or nothing. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is, I'm sure some of you guys may be familiar with the SAS Guide to Tracking. It's the same principles apply. When you're looking for something, the one thing you want to do is use sign and transference. So let's first talk about sign. What signs do I look for to look for good kindling? Well, right behind me is a bamboo thicket. Tons of dry vegetation under here. These things make great cover. There's a lot of dry twigs around it, but some of it is somewhat wet and damp. It did rain last night, so it makes my job a little bit harder, but that's when you're going to really need these skills in a situation like this because, well, everything isn't for free. So let's go. Here we go. Like over here, there is a, you can hear the road behind me. I'm at my parents' house, so I'm not like out in the woods or anything, but I intend to eventually. I want to take you guys to Cranberry Glades, Monongahela National Forest. Oh man, there's so many beautiful places in West Virginia. Wow, Cooper's Rock, all that stuff. So I do a lot of these videos here because a lot of the equipment I have is heavy and I've got tons of it. One thing, if you don't have a knife, but I do, you bring one, is a Leatherman. Great tool, great tool. So there's a cedar tree here that's slightly bent over, and I'll show it to you guys if you can see it here. Right here, and if you look underneath where a lot of this foliage is dying, and well, one interesting thing about cedar trees, the reason that they're called evergreens is because, well, during the winter, they don't send the sap down to the roots. They keep it throughout their leaves all year round. Well, there's a unique thing about cedar, pine, that type of species of tree, is that when you boil down the contents of that tree, it makes turpentine. Turpentine is flammable. It doesn't freeze. So these trees have a natural antifreeze built into them. That also makes them highly flammable. Sap, twigs, even the green parts will snap. It's hard to get started, but once you get that stuff going, it's like it snaps and it's a good fuel. So right now I've talked a little bit about kindling, how to gather kindling, what to look at, like this bamboo grove here, or say this cedar tree over here, and even the foliage underneath, down in the canopy here on the floor of the forest itself. So let's go look at some other things that may be a sign that I'm looking for in order to find dry foliage. And if you look up on the hill there's a rock formation up there. Typically rocks will have a slight overhang. Sometimes brush will get blown under there or leaves. Perfect place to find dry kindling. So let's go check. I brought my tent bag here. I'm using it to gather tinder in. So here we go. Let's walk up here. This hill's a little steep, so if I fall, just please laugh. Let me see, there's some briars here, but whatever. Let's do this. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Look at this. Look at this down here. Can you see it? Right in here. This. Probably some giant freaking snake will bite my hand off. I just wear a hook. Be cool, right? So I'm going to take some of these leaves. And as what I'm really looking for is not just the leaf itself. See these little twigs on the leaves? That's what I'm looking for. It's nice and dry, brittle. There's a nice little stick, perfectly dry up under this little nook here. And the further you go down, the more decayed some of this material is, but it's part of the process. But decay isn't a bad thing. Here we go, here's a vine right here. See this vine? If you go up here, there's slivers of bark hanging off of it. Get as much of that as you can. You stick it in your bag. That way you don't have to put it in your pocket or, I don't know, stick it down your pants or something. It's just weird. Anyway, yeah, this is like a gold mine right here. This would also provide you with good shelter, too, in a certain situation. There's already fallen limbs above you. You make some sort of makeshift lean-to, cover it with leaves, a good 3 feet thick. Man, I tell you what, you bundle yourself down in some leaves like that, it's as good as a cold weather sleeping bag. Trust me. All right, look at this. This is sweet. All in this one area. Look at this. It's sweet pickings. Look at this little vine from this little native grape. And this might actually be useful, and it just came right off for me because I guess it's dying, I hope. So I'm just going to pull that off, and I'm going to take that with me. I'll show you how to build your little Tinder bundle and different means of ignition. And that's really the key right there. I'm going to say this up front. The main key, the main thing I use for ignition is a lighter. It's the same thing as settlers used to use a tinder box. Right? Technology happened. Right? Even if you're a non-smoker, carry a couple lighters with you. It could save your life. Seriously. It's that simple. You don't have to smoke to carry a lighter. Put one in your car and leave it there. Well, in the glove compartment. Don't leave it on your dash because it will explode. Not in a bad way. Like, it just lets all the gas out. They're designed not to, to have a certain tolerance to pressure. So, wow, I just made a jackpot here. But better safe than sorry. It could rain. It could rain its butt off tomorrow. Hurricane force winds. All this stuff could be wet. So I'm going to gather as much as I can and treat it as a precious resource. So I'm going to continue doing that. And then I'm going to get everything set up, and I will see you after that. All right, good to go. Love you guys. Be safe. See you in a bit.